And after that, she says it in French, but she says, that's it, I'm done. And it's really beautiful to see, like, she just gave birth and she found it too easy. Welcome to the Hypno-Baby channel. Retired family doctor who delivered 3,700 babies. This is your channel, so don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, and be amazed. Of course, there's a big medical disclaimer. This channel is for entertainment only. You use it at your own risk. Hi, this video is originally in French, so that's why I turned off the audio and I put on the comment I did when I presented that video at a convention. So that's why you're going to hear kind of echo, because it was a big room with a lot of people getting certified in the Hypno-Baby program. Basically, my patient did the program, the Hypno-Baby program. I did one session with her because she needed some pinpoints. And then she gives birth beautifully, as you're going to see. No epidural, no medication. Of course, I don't know why I have to say it. And she even looks at her baby coming out. So you stick around. That's at the end of the video. And after that, she says it in French, but she says, that's it, I'm done. And it's really beautiful to see, like, she just gave birth and she found it too easy. So enjoy watching. It's a little dark because when we give birth, we don't want to have like big spotlights. So it's a little dark, but that's okay. You'll see as much as you can. The baby was pretty big. It was more than a 9 pounder, had 3 loops around the neck. So, and you can see nobody's panicking, nobody's screaming, because that's what hypnosis for childbirth does. We're all like in hypnosis and quiet. See you on the next video. Bye bye.
So I'm going to comment as we go along. So we always have to do a monitor. I'm a doctor first. I have to make sure the mother and the baby will be fine. So I have 2 hats, but once we know the baby's fine, the mother is fine, we can have fun. I'm in the room, I'm right here, but I'm not instructing her anything. She did her thing on her own. She was basically in her bubble doing her self-hypnosis. Whenever she has a contraction, she just closes her eyes. The monitor over there, that's for the contraction. She's getting the huge ones. So, and she would visit whatever special place that she had. Some women will be more interactive with their spouse. They do massage, they anchor. I have another video, the woman, everybody in the room, she had her daughter, her friend, everybody would come and anchor, which was pretty cool. Like, it was very interactive. She preferred to do it on her own. She was in her bubble and she was fine. She remembers the bird. She was in the zombie. She didn't space out. She remembers everything. She can laugh my stupid jokes between contraction because she just opens her eyes. When the contraction finishes, you're going to see she just pops out of hypnosis. They usually choose to go in hypnosis when the contraction starts, and they get out when they don't have a contraction, and then they can interact with us. And she told me between the contractions, my water never breaks. Yeah, right. Like in the good old days, they didn't break water, so it would break. And that's why she's going to have a little surprise, because she's 9 centimeters, so you can imagine it's that much, and there's pressure on the back. So her water eventually broke, and that's when the baby came down. So she has that, like, and then she starts pushing, because that's what her body is telling her. Nobody's instructing her, you should push now. She knows, and nobody could stop her from pushing because she knows. Yeah, yeah, yes. Yeah, if the water's not broken, and it's more comfortable, it's like a cushion. But sometimes labor doesn't progress, or you need to do things, so sometimes we'll break water. Yeah, you're gonna see me. I'm in the zone. No, I'm not instructing her anything. She's doing it very good. And people in the room were going, whoa, what's this? So as you can see, the nurses are rushing to prepare everything because they didn't take us seriously, but after that they did. So soon you're going to see her face changing because she's going to start naturally pushing. There's an audio, but it's not. Yeah, you could if you want. But the audio is kind of not interesting because you hear the suction. Once her water was broken, the liquid was meconium, meaning the baby pooed in her belly. So I had to suction. We have to do our thing, make sure baby doesn't put that in its lungs. And the baby had 3 loops of cord around the neck and a nod. So fun. But we only saw that at when the head comes out. My other patient, which you have the 1-page testimonial on the website, she's describing when her water broke, she had a moment of panic, feeling the baby coming down, and she really emerged from hypnosis. She looked at me and I just signaled lower, and then she went back. So. And very often, like all the nurses are asking me, what can we do? What's this thing? How can we help? And how can we not interfere? So they're very interested, all the personnel. And many of the other people that bought the home study course were in other cities. They said people rushed after and saying, what happened here? And how can we do that again? So there's an interest. It's impressive. I don't do episiotomies. I don't believe in that. That they could be tears if you see the size of a baby. That's I've had many big babies with hypnosis, 10 pounders, 11 pounders. They come out as easily, and it's good because if she's relaxed, there's no resistance. The baby just slides down. I don't believe in the hypnosis for childbirth programs that say the baby's going to whoosh out. I've never seen it whoosh out. You have to push it. There's some, some effort there. So her face is changing because she's pushing. She started pushing. He was taking pictures. But she was saying during their ride to the hospital, he was doing the anchoring, so he was pretty active. So as you can see, I don't use stirrups very much. If the legs are open, the baby passes. Well, what's the point? Yeah, but they force like all the times we used it. Usually we use human sides. People on both sides, way more human touch. She is giving the effort of pushing. So as you can see, she's making sound, but she's in accordance to her body and she's not in pain. She's just in the pushing phase. Oh, I could put it stronger. The recording of the conference, yeah. And this woman is very shy, and a television program called me and said, we want, from the client's point of view, do you have volunteers you could send us? And I handed out her name, and she ended up on national television talking about her birthing experience. So that was very good. But talk about being in the now. When she starts pushing and the head emerges, somebody said, look at your baby, look at your baby. And I said, no, keep pushing because I needed the shoulders to get out. But she's opening her eyes and like, okay, she's receptive to everything that happens. That's caused from the baby's movement. It has nothing to do with hypnosis. Baby flips and flops, and this one had a long cord. The longer the cord, usually the longer they can. That's independent from hypnosis. That's from the baby's movement. So, but one baby out of 3 is born with a cord around the neck, or sometimes they have a little fancy bracelet around the foot. So as you can see, we're all hysterical in the room, and so the head is emerging. I like the fact that the light was kind of blocking the private parts. You see, the nurse said, breathe, 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 but that's okay. Yeah, somebody told her to look at the baby. She gets like, okay, I'm looking. But then I said, no, push for the shoulders. And I'm having fun with the cords. And most parents that deliver with hypnosis grab their babies themselves, which is pretty cool. Talk about being welcomed in the world. One problem I had is another of my patient that delivered with hypnosis, and the baby was born, didn't feel like crying. He was like, no stress. So the nurse put the blanket on the baby, and I was always saying, is he okay? And she says, yes, he's okay. Is he okay? 20 minutes of full awakeness. The baby was looking around, being so zen. So that was cool. So then she starts saying, is this it? That's finished? That's all? It's giving birth. But then when you give classes, you have to be very careful what you say. If you say, oh, twins, that's double the problem, might not work. If you give classes and people say, I'm expecting twins, and I say, oh, it won't work for twins, or it might not work as good, you're programming them. So you have to be so convincing. Double the hypnosis. Yes. Okay. Like I said, you're the program. If you didn't get that, you shouldn't teach hypno-beginning or any kind of hypnosis or childbirth, because you're not going to have success.
Well, you only have, because I have twins, my sister said, you only have to do one of these.
Yeah, exactly. And then you don't have to retaliate. Two little words. Two little final words. We live in a society that stresses pregnant women. You're gonna realize that when you give your classes. You have to tell them not to watch TV. There's that emergency obstetrics program where they're saying, it's a life-threatening situation. And most of the people who took the hypnosis for childbirth classes, the Hypno-Beginning, will say that it changed their philosophy in life. And when they always come in my office, is this normal? And I'm having doubts, and somebody told me, and I usually joke about it, but just like for their belly, it's never right. They say, oh, people told me I'm too small. I said, there's two kinds of pregnant women, too big and too small. They're never happy, so forget it. And what I tell them is that, I check their belly and I say, it's fine. So look at my face. I anchor them to me. It's fine. So whenever somebody tells you something otherwise, just smile and think of me. So you have to really reassure them. They need to be reassured. That being said, you are in no way, and you can get caught if you give medical opinions. And pregnant women will always check. But you're giving a class and they're going to ask you, my doctor says this and that. And you say, this is a medical opinion. I'm not going to get into that. Same thing in my program. I say, don't call yourself doctor unless you have a medical degree, because they're going to think something. They're going to, and sometimes you say, well, my mother delivered this way. And you're going to give, an opinion that you think is just clueless or just simple, and they'll take it for cash and you're going to get caught. So you have to be very careful. And they will ask you questions. Believe me, they will ask you questions. If you're a nurse, that's okay. If you're somebody teaching prenatal classes, you're okay. But otherwise, don't go there. That's a trap, definitely. So refer them to their doctors. If they say, my doctor says I'll have a hard birth, you can program them saying it doesn't have to be that way. And who says so? Okay. That you can say, which is not a medical opinion. So that you can reinforce them. And whenever they panic, because some people have fears of birth, some people have been programmed saying, in our family, women almost die every time they give birth, and they have that. You might end up saying, and you're going to see in your classes, this person is really, you have to look for signs, is really not where we want her to be. You can offer private session. You have to resolve the issues, definitely. Is there other questions? Because I would let everybody go. Yes, it's all negative. It's all negative. Same thing in newspapers. And when my patients panic, I say, look around you. We're 6 billions on Earth. You're not going to be the first one giving birth. Because, and again, I'm going to tell you, whenever you see something negative about childbirth, smile and think of me. And you'll see you're going to smile at least 5 times this week in the newspaper. And, you get all the horror stories. And we're in a civilization where we almost never lose a mother, almost never lose a baby, but that's what they focus on. And that's what pregnant women are exposed to. And that's another side effect of the program. They said it settled my mind. It made me in peace with birth and pregnancy as well. So they realized that they've been exposed to that. When I was giving a conference on childbirth, I was saying this, that it's a negative programming. And when I was pregnant many years ago, I said, I'll read whatever my patient's reading. So I picked up this book and saying, you have 1% chance of your baby having a heart defect, 2% chance, and it added up to 100%. They didn't say that it's all the same babies that have all the birth defects. So I said, and people were like, yeah, okay, we get your point. I said, look at this book. It's a they sold 1 million copy of this book so far to pregnant women. It was describing the baby's movement in a pregnant woman. And that's the only thing I liked about pregnancy. I've been pregnant 4 times. It's a smooth, nice thing and it's life. They were describing it as violent attacks. These are the words. So that tells you what they're reading. And then you would have the word death every second page. I put the book down. I read about 20 pages, but it was all about being threatened, being almost dying. And it's, I always tell them, you're not sick, you're pregnant. So, but you're going to have to do that in your classes, reinforce them and re-empower them that this is all normal and this is all good, definitely. And they have way less complication if they don't program themselves for complications.